let them go. Then it's right back to the when I'm low. Bars never close and we wide open. Kicking flavor with me, neighbor, yeah, we local. Rap the bottom, cause the bottom where we come from. Me no pray for little paper, need a lump sum. Real spill, yeah, I would rather be, yeah. Broke, real, little rich. Fall in love with her. She just wanna be in VIP with her. Don't blame me, oh, they just shame me. Had to get it how I got it on my phone to be. Don't blame me, I'm what the game made me, not what the fame made me. I won't let it change me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Falcons going up against the Lions. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, first opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the 9th-year man out of Georgia, their quarterback, and that's Matthew Stafford.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost,
the pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Brooks Reed. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So a first-quarter sack, and remember, keep in mind, he had 2 sacks in last week's game.
And it's always intriguing to me to watch these great pass rushers because some of them, they need their teammates to scheme for them, maybe occupy people and make it a one-on-one matchup. Other guys, they just defeat everything in front of them. To get 2 sacks in a game, it's a little bit of both for you.
Caught on the right side by Jones. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defense. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Deion Jones able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
On first down, Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Eric Ebron's got skills to spare. They just want the production to equal those, and he needs some good help in order to get that done. Had 61 catches in 2016, battling an ankle.
Yeah, the surprise, though, just one of those 61 hit pay dirt. And he finds a man with a crossing route. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Adrian Claiborne in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
That's one of those dubious titles that no one really...
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Dontari Poe able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now it's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Julio Jones is off to a monster first half, but still, can he reach what he did against the Panthers in 2016? Didn't he go for a cool 300 in that game?
On the dot in week 4, 300 yards. Oh, Matt Ryan had a pretty good game, too. Threw for over 500. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On 3rd down, Ryan. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
It's good to be the kicker for the top offense in the NFL, and Matt Bryant was that in 2016. Led the league in scoring with 158 points, but boy, does Atlanta find him valuable. So dependable and clutch.
And he's been valuable in this league for a while. Hard to believe he's been around since 2002. The Falcons defense gearing up as they take the field. And we're going to get a peek at some of the hits that have helped them get this first half lead.
And you know how the best hits happen? By being really good on that side of the ball in terms of fundamentals, being in the right spot, diagnosing plays well, and being there at the point of attack. They are really making it happen.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On the ground, it's Riddick. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Stafford now to throw. Ebron caught left side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And Tate's got it. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice
target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Felt me get a little jangly up there before that last play call, and then once it happened, I was like, oh, because it feels like almost a missed golden opportunity to take a shot in that position.
You think, rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
3rd and long. It's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
After that nice game there, for the rest of the game, the defense is going to have to respect the running backs as passing threats as well. Not just play them strictly to run the football. They may be able to get downfield and catch it, too.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because, really, they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
He'll wind up losing it, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
A reminder coming up in the Sunday night game, matchup you don't see very often, a rematch of Super Bowl 18. The Raiders traveling to Washington. And then tomorrow on Monday night, we'll see the Cowboys heading to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Former NFC East rivals. He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Ryan throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hardy. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jones. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Stafford. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Foxborough. And the early going, it's the Texans out in front. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Second down now after the pass completion. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Caught by Nelson left side. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Again, Ryan. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run with Marshall. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Ryan finding Gabriel for the Falcon first down.
Partner, our parents always told us that relationships were going to be important in life. Taylor Gabriel knew Kyle Shanahan in Cleveland before he was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta. And boy, that payoff for the Falcons picking him up.
Yeah, last year he had more touchdowns actually than Julio Jones. He had 7, Jones had 6. And good parental advice there, Mr. Davis. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Here's Mostert. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country. And at BYU, was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential, he's realizing it here.
A good pickup there at 22. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons continue to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 20. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Riddick with a carry. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Every now and then when we see a really good run, we really tend to focus on what other people did in order for that run to happen, what the offensive line did, what the receivers did to help. Sometimes the running back's pretty good, too. And on that play, he picked up a lot of good yardage and made it happen with great effort.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on second and goal. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Defense likely bringing pressure here. Third and goal from the 2. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Freeman unable to get free here on 4th and goal. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Riddick. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't.
Theo Riddick. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Around the NFL, third quarter from Foxborough. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position where we were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Back now at Ford Field. Freeman again. And some space here. Freeman with a fast feet. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Now Marshall. Down to the 25. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Time running out here on the play clock. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it 1st and goal.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons add on. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here come the Lions now. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now.
Golden Tate's going to go. The 30, 20, 10, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Oh, did the Lions get it? Yes, they recover. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are two very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs him. The kicking team gets the football here. Now Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And he comes back with one complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Stafford on 1st down. Pass incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing again at Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, a 22. To the air again, Stafford. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Mostert. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving the running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Well, I know it points to this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Falcons, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.
I look up, so many. Oh my God. So